Hey, Dustin Tibbetts here, financial advisor with Jazz Wealth. How's it going today? I'm going to rant a little bit, but I'm going to try something that we don't often do. Normally, we do videos that obviously help as many as people as possible. Today, what I'm going to do is try to do one of these and just filter down to something that maybe you haven't thought of, or maybe an advisor would push you to do, but you don't have an advisor, or you don't want to work with one or whatever. And so I'm going to try to be a little more specific. But I'll bet that this applies to a lot more people than I thought, right? And I'm going to just talk a little bit. This is not like prepared or anything, because I'm actually starting to work on my home office and do videos there, like at night and stuff. We can just hang out and do some tips and fun stuff there. But anyways, this lesson comes from experience. We have just over 7,000 clients here, and we offer personal service to all of them. We're not a robo-advisor or anything. And more, I find myself coming up with the same questions and pushing people towards the same decisions. Now, this, again, may not apply to you income-wise, but stick with me. See what happens here. A lot of people in good times and both in bad, they want to max out their 401k, especially if you don't have like a cyclical job, right? If you're not in construction, real estate, if you're more in the medical space and things like that, then you can trust your job, probably more so than someone that's in construction as the economy cycles. So people want to max out their 401ks, and I get that. I totally do. But it's not realistic for most people, right? And it's not smart for the others, right? There's a little fine line there. Now in 2023, it gets tougher because, well, they raised the limits. So in 2023, if you're under the age of 50, you can put $22,500 away. And if you're over the age of 50, you're at $30,000 that you can contribute to a 401k, TSP, 403b, 457, things like that. That's a lot of money. That's enticing, right? And some of you are really super savers out there. I get it. But if you're a super saver, can we just err on the side of caution here? Can I be the worry wart and say, okay, let's try not to tie up all your money? Give you an example. Let's say you make $100,000 a year total, family income, whatever it is, and you're trying to max out your 401k, right? You're under the age of 50. That's like a 1/5 of your income, maybe almost 1/4, right? Getting close there anyways, right in between there. 1/5 and a half, right? So that's pretty crazy. The problem is you're tied up in that, and things are likely to change, right? You can't easily buy a house with some of that money if you need to. You can't easily get yourself out of medical debt if something surprising happens to you. You can't easily pay for college if your child goes through all of college and you say, oh man, we want to help you out on the back end there and pay for college. It's a little bit tough there. So it gets to be tricky there. I find that more people, I believe all the studies that I see when people say, well, the 401k early withdrawal rate is too high. I believe it, because a lot of people say, you know what, I need to take this money out. I oversaved, and so I need to take this money out because I broke my knee and I need new surgery or something, right? And that there's a medical expense to that. Totally get that. But if you're a super saver, can we just think about this in a couple different avenues here? If you believe that you will be buying a house, buying investment real estate, trying to do other things for your kids, maybe for college, or helping them get started you can buy them their first home or help put a down payment on their first house there. But all your money's going to the 401k, good for you, but you're kind of locked in. So let's go back to that previous example. If you make $100,000 and for some reason you really are saving that much, you're a superstar, because we don't normally see that. But again, if you're at 200,000, 300,000, whatever you make, apply this scenario here. If you're going to save up to the max or get very, very close to it, well, let's try to avoid an unforeseen 10% penalty and those taxes if we take that money out. Let's think about it like this. 11.9% is the most efficient savings rate there can be for the biggest audience there. I've done videos on that to explain how that math works out. But if we said you make $100,000, and I'll round up and say you're going to save 12%, well, that's $12,000. What's wrong with that? How about $12,000 in your 401k or something right around there? And then the other $10,000, if you really did want to save up to what you were normally saving, the 30% or the fifth of your income, then what about taking $10,000 and spreading it over yours and your spouse's Roth IRA? Or what about doing something where you say, I'm going to fill up the Roth IRA, which for 2023 is $6,500. Then I'm going to take the rest of the money and I'll put that in my 401k, because maybe I have a medical expense that's expected, or I may need to pull that money out, or I may want to make a down payment on my building a new home or something like that. Things that the Roth IRA allows that flexibility. Now, the argument when you raise your income, so at $100,000, if you're really saving that much, okay, there's not a whole lot of argument to making that decision, right? Going both pre-tax and post-tax with some of those dollars, right? You're playing safety net in case something goes wrong, but of course it's tax-free money. If nothing goes wrong, it grows, right? You know, tax-free money. You're playing a little safety net there, but if I said, if you make $200,000, how about putting 15 in your 401k and the rest in your Roth? Now there's an argument, right? Because you say, that's costing me tax dollars to put money away in a Roth just to pretend there's going to be an emergency when I may already have money saved up. So you see why I said this doesn't apply to everybody. If you make 300, well, let's pretend that you could, but if you make 300,000 and you could contribute and put all this money in a 401k, well, now that's a horrible argument, right? To put money in a Roth. So that's why I'm really saying this is kind of specific for those of you that maybe you make 100,000 a year, or maybe it's the year that you make 100,000 because your spouse had a baby. I don't know, right? Your income was lower. You guys went traveling, or, you know, were traveling in an RV and going through the parks and doing all that stuff like those kids do, right? So think about things like that. We're both saving for retirement, but what if something happens and I've got 3 months of emergency funds, but I know I need to save for retirement. If I save some over here, then technically I've got a little extra emergency funds, because if I need that, I can take it, right? That's where we're coming in the world right now, is that money is not so loose where we can say, max out the 401k, fill up the emergency fund for a year, who cares? And then fill up the Roth IRA, and you know what? I got extra dollars left over to invest in the stock market just in a brokerage account. Money's getting tighter. So now we have to start thinking of, how do we make the best use of a dollar? Can we use it in two places at the same time? And the hopes is that well, me in this case, I'm horribly wrong. And you never had an issue, and you don't have to withdraw from your Roth. You don't have to deplete your emergency fund. You don't have to withdraw from your 401k and pay the 10% penalty and early taxes and all that. So just a different way to think about it, that a 401k or pre-tax workplace plan could hurt you if you're just all in, right? And you just focus on that. How many of you has that hurt? I'm one of them. Right? I was very young, but that was me. Had money all in a 401k. My wife did too. We needed to take money out. 10% penalty. Paid taxes. Thankfully, we were young and stupid and all that, so it was very low tax, but it's happened. Guarantee it's happened to the majority of people that watch this. Well, let's use this video, this advice, this help, just go pass it on to somebody and say, try this. Right? Take a few minutes, 8 minutes out of your life to make sure that you just split those dollars over there. I hope I helped you here today. Again, this is an oddball video, so if it didn't hit with you, I totally understand that. Just giving something different a chance here. What could I talk about? Is there things that you would like to learn from Jazz, me, Eric? Happy to help you. We've got forever amount of video ideas, but this one's more of a rant, and hope it helps you. Enjoy.